Alright, it seems like lately I'm starting videos off with trades that I missed, and so in keeping with that tradition, I'm going to do it again, but I had on Bounce Watch, and I would love to give you a great explanation of why I missed this. I just missed it. You're supposed to have all your watch list on charts. I've got one monitor dedicated to at least 9 charts over here to my right, and I just missed it. But I want to share it with you anyway because it's such a good setup. If you've watched any of our videos, we talk about shape change all the time, okay? And I'm going to show you the daily chart on this in just a minute, so you can see why we had it on watch. But if you ever have a stock on watch, just because it's overdue for a bounce, it's down several days in a row and maybe even starting to get fast to the downside on the daily chart, and then on an intraday basis, you get what we call shape change. And what I mean by that is just loosely connect the tops of the candles, 5-minute candles, right? And it's not very hard. You don't need a drawing tool to see this once you get to recognizing them. But right here you see the shape change, right? It's grinding lower, then a little less angle, and then you get that sharp drop, usually accompanied by higher volume. Okay, so now we've got a stock that's getting killed several days in a row on the daily. And again, I'll show you that in just a minute. And then on an intraday basis, and we showed you something like this in CTRX the other day. I think that was the symbol. Anyway, you can see it here. You had it's already down ugly on the daily, grinding lower, and then you get that shape change on volume. Look at this bottom. I mean, right there. Look at that volume, doji candle. Anywhere in here, arbitrary 20-cent stop, or make it break this candle's high. There's your entry with a low of day stop. And even if you took it above this candle at 640, look at that. Ends up going through the high of the day to 710. That is a huge move percentage-wise and a great setup. It's shape change on an intraday basis on a stock that's already been killed. And here's the daily. So I'll take today's candle out of it just to show you. This is why it was on watch, right? It's already grinding lower and starting to get shape change on the daily. Then you add today's candle, see that tail? We also had shape change on an intraday basis that would have got us in right down here, almost near the bottom of that tail. And I just muffed it. I just missed it. I didn't see it. But that is a perfect setup. And, to me, worthwhile to be in the video because it's a great lesson on shape change and looking for an intraday bounce. Beating up stocks and then they get beat up on an intraday basis, time to start looking for a turn, right? That's one of those. And I've said this to our members 100 times. I've never finished a trading day ever. No matter how much money I make on any given day, I've never finished a trading day where I didn't say, man, look at what I could have had if I'd have done this, or sold that one too soon. The trick is be happy with making money on a consistent basis if you are. And you kind of got to get used to looking at things like this after the fact and scratching your head and saying, well, I just missed it. Move on. There'll be other trades, and I promise you, you're never going to catch them all, ever. You'll never have a perfect day trading, so just try to have good days. Anyway, having said all that, I'll share a couple of the highlights from trading today. BlackBerry had the surprise gap up, and a couple of our members put me on notice. I hadn't done anything with it, and then it started to sneak out of this base right here, and you could sense the excitement. Remember, BlackBerry had a huge move the other day. Okay, so when it starts to break out of this base, you could see the volume coming in. All right, then you get a reversal, and I already told everybody in chat, if this gets above 16, it's probably going to get through the high of the day and make a nice move. All right, with the shorts in it and the surprise gap up today and so on. So when it looked like this, I put it on radar, and I put in another red 5-minute candle, and then I went ahead and gave everybody a trigger and stop. I said, if it gets over this little candle here, I'll get the arrow. If it gets over this candle right here, it's probably going to take out the most recent high, which was 15.95. And if it does that, it's probably going to get through the whole number 16 and then probably going to rip through the high of the day. So I had what I call stacked catalysts, and so I called it at 15.91, stop at 15.84. Now that's a nice tight stop, very liquid stock, so you could have as many shares as you want on 7 cents risk. There's the trigger. Then we get to that 15.95. We take that out. We take out 16. We take out the high of the day, and end up going to 16.40 at best. So from 15.91 on 7 cents risk to 16.40 is not bad. And even, you know what, over the next 20 minutes, just this 30-cent move on a $16 stock for the period of time that you held it was real nice too. So that was literally my best trade of the day. Certainly not a great day to brag about, but also Pulte Homes PHM looked like this when I called it. Lennar was cranking. I think Lennar had earnings, and it was just ripping. So I was looking for other home builder sympathy plays, and I went ahead and called. When it looked like this, I said PHM. My idea was if it gets to 2120. I mean, actually, I said a high of day break earlier, and then when it got to 2120, I went ahead and said over the microphone, I'm in. I took it at 2120. Worst case stop, 2105. Now, this didn't exactly tear it up, but it did grind higher and then got a nice push. That's that shape change that we teach members to sell into. So anyway, from 2120 went to 2160, and the risk was only 15 cents. So and it was FOMC afternoon, so I went with my wife and picked up our new car and didn't even trade the afternoon. I never like to trade FOMC afternoons, and it didn't get real goofy, right? You know, popped up here, rolled back, retested the high of the day, and then last 10 minutes selling again. But this is kind of chaotic and hard to trade. I figured, you know what, tomorrow's another day. So anyway, I'll quit babbling. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.